Peace, dear family, peace. I hope all is well. I wanted to finish a series of talks that have been on my mind. And these series of talks are on different platforms, but it's not about a popularity context. As a matter of fact, I think what may happen is I may stir up something. You know, when I look at the political plight in this country, if you go against a certain political viewpoint, even though most people are for it and challenge people, you go against the grain. So I want to talk about the state of evolution of Black men in particular, but men all around. But let's look at Black men. You know, I've been having a series talking about evolution of men from boys to the time that they're grown up. And there's some stages. I want to deal with 3 stages. The 4th stage I'm going to deal with on another talk. But I want to deal with the stage of boyhood, because a lot goes on in boyhood that we need to understand, and what boyhood is and what types of things make a boy a boy. Now, as I speak about boyhood, I'm going to be talking about physical boyhood, but also there's boyhood on a mental level. There's boyhood on a spiritual level. I'm also going to talk quickly about the stage that I call the nigger stage. No offense, but there are some positive contexts around the word. As you know, there's a popular expression, niggas used. I'm saying we use nigger like it's going out of style. And to a certain degree, we got to tolerate it, because when we walk down the street, brothers are using it and they don't mean nothing by it. It's just them talking to each other. What's going on, nigga? Nigga, what's happening? But I want to go into it from a certain point of view. So let me dismiss nigga being used on a higher level. You probably heard the rapper Kingz saying that the word used to be negus. You know what I mean? And negus in king, Niggaz. That's the Ethiopian version of it. You know, when they crowned the king, they crowned them negus. And a lot of brothers that say they're woke and conscious use the word niggas in the same light that you would call a king or crown a king. We're not using it in that context. We don't use it in the context of everyday street life, niggas. So there's a stage of boyhood. There's a stage of niggerhood. We're going to talk about niggerhood because most of all of us, including myself, have gone through niggerhood, and niggerhood sometimes is necessary. And the 3rd stage is Kingz, which is true manhood, but it's manhood based on a physical evolution, grown up, but also a mental and spiritual evolution. We're going to talk about that. But let's get busy. You know, what's going on now, and I'm blessed to be around young men. I teach young men, I guide young men, and I see young men as I see myself. Not perfect, but I know I want a better future generation. All right? So, what is boyhood? Boyhood is the stage from birth, supposedly, to the stage that you become an adult as a man. And I'm going to say this again. Boys are different. They're different in their biology, in that boys have testes. They produce testosterone later. There are also some unique brain differences of male and female. Can't deny it, that's biological. All right? So we're going to get into that. Now, one of the things that separates a boy from a man is the level of responsibility. A man is supposed to be able to take on responsibility. However, you can be a man have not taken on responsibility and be a boy mentally and spiritually. I'll say that again, in case we missed it. What separates a boy from a man is the ability to take full responsibility. Now, check this out. All of us hate child abuse. We're looking at people who have gone through these pedophile rings, and we wonder about the state of our young men and young women. And it's foul, it's defiled that you would take the sexuality of a child who doesn't even have the ability to help themselves and take advantage of them. But years later, we'll find that some of us still suffer at 35 and 40 because at childhood, somebody took our boyhood. Now, what separates someone who's successful from not being successful is they take responsibility for their own life, no matter what happened to them in the past. So boys, when they have abusive parents, that's not their fault. Parents shouldn't abuse their children, but abusive parents and children, when you're a boy, that's not your fault. Somebody disrespected you at that age and violated you, not your fault. That's statehood of boyhood. You got to go to school under the age of 16. Your parents can get locked up or get a what they call a child protective service charge. In Connecticut, it's DCF. If you are not being properly educated up until the age of 16, that is your parents' responsibility. That's boyhood. So boyhood is a stage where others are responsible for your life. You don't have a lot of decisions that you make, right? That's boyhood. All right. Now, what is niggerhood? The word nigger, there was a country by the name of Niger, but that country at one time was called nigger. What is the word nigger? There's a positive connotation and a negative one. Nigger represents a stage, but it also was used to represent a color. When Europeans went into Africa, it was not uncommon for them to use the name of that country, nigger, as a description of a black person. That's where the word nigger came from. And so when they would see a black person, they would say, look like one of them niggers from that country. But for them, nigger was something of inferiority. But the word nigger also represents darkness. And darkness has some positive connotations and some negative ones. All of us go through stages of life where we become mentally dark and there's no light. Now, the difference between a nigger and a king or a developed man is that we all go through darkness, but we can't allow ignorance and darkness to guide our actions. So the difference is of a king or a brother that has developed is that he may go through darkness, but kings will wrestle with that darkness, overcome that darkness, and become enlightened and govern themselves based on that enlightenment. That's what a king is. King ain't Prince Henry or King Henry or King George. Those are not our kings. We're more king than they are. But a king is somebody on a mental and spiritual level that can govern themselves, not so much control others. Do you know self-control is the key to universal control? When you have that type of discipline over yourself, you gain respect from other people. When you have composure, whenever everybody else is getting all excited and emotional, and that's why a certain level of the civil rights, or not civil rights, but the social justice movement, don't resonate with a developed man. Certain parts of it is making emotional decisions rather than governing and ruling. And they expect Black people to be emotional all the time. We respond. As soon as something happens, we get emotional. Part of that is underdevelopment, because you can't let them figure you out. When they do something and you go back and they don't know how you coming back, but you coming with a plan, that's a developed mind. And more men are needed, real men, kings, in order to take control of our community, because can't be done out of emotionality. Some of us, damn it, are too emotional. Somebody step on your damn shoe, you want to shoot him. So what if he stepped on your shoe? The reason why he stepped on your shoe is that now they stepped on your shoe, you looking around to see if anybody else saw you getting punked. And so the decision is often made because of the embarrassment or the shame of somebody supposedly punking you. Where a king does not operate. A king may be the head of a whole nation and understands that under his power and tutelage, every decision he makes affects everybody in the kingdom. So he got to think wise. A king is respected. A king is honored. A king is somebody that others look to for guidance and decision making. A nigga is the opposite. A nigga does stuff out of impulses, can't have any control. We all go through darkness. We all go through ignorance. But the difference between the nigga and the king is that the nigga does not wrestle in self-improvement to overcome their own darkness. See, it's not the world, it's us. Because if we were enlightened, the same light that we have would light up our community. We don't complain about how bad the community is when we know within us is the light, and wherever we go, we shine our light. So we got a job to do. But if we're at a stage of niggerhood, then we're overcome by the same darkness that we see outside, and then we make excuses, and we go from niggerhood backward to boyhood. Because remember, a boy is one who does not take responsibility because mom and dad is over him, and so he makes excuses of what he should do because he's a boy. But when we cross from boyhood to manhood, we no longer make excuses. So what does a man do about not having money? A man comes up with an idea. He does not make excuses about what there isn't and there ain't. And a man goes out and makes a way out of a calculated mindset of what works and what doesn't work. So your decision-making process, what develops your manhood. Boys don't make decisions. Other people make decisions for them. Or when boys make a decision and it's the wrong decision, they begin to look at others as though others are responsibility for their failures. So men don't make excuses. We take full responsibility. That's the difference between boyhood and manhood. So boyhood is a physical stage, but it's also a mental and spiritual stage. Niggerhood is a mental stage. You know what I mean? Let's talk a little bit about that. Years ago, a brother wrote a book, From Niggaz to Gods. And he basically wrote it in the prison system. Very enlightened brother. But he enlightened a lot of brothers outside of the prison system. A lot of brothers got woken up by that book. Go and Google it, From Niggaz to Gods. And he basically talked about knowledge of self, knowledge of who you are, because the whole world is subjective, it's not objective. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So people that generally make excuses and see the darker side of life and start talking about, man, you know what? It's bad out here. Can't get no job, man. Can't make no changes. Those are people that see the world as they are. But if you a change maker, if you a trailblazer, if you a conqueror, if you a warrior, if you a person that don't take no shit from nobody, and somebody comes, you either run over them or run through them, then you're unstoppable. That's what kind of individual you are. And there are certain individuals that are bent on sitting down and laying down and making excuses and staying as boys and cursing darkness and talk about what happened at 5 and 7. You know, brothers that talk about 5 and 7 and 9-year-old and what they've been through and never took responsibility, they will never develop. I remember, man, DMX was on Ianlin. Bless DMX. Bless the family. But I wanted to say to DMX, nothing you could do about your mother. She abused you. You were a child. You can't change that. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But as a grown man, take full responsibility to heal. That's your responsibility. A lot would have probably happened to most of us, from incest to sexual assault, abuse, situations in your community when you experience violence, breakup of your home. But once you become a 30-year-old man, 25-year-old man, there ain't nothing you could do about what happened or the past. The only thing you could do is take responsibility of your life now. If that means I got to talk to somebody who can hear me professionally, then I got to do that. If that means that I got to get on a path where I improve my physical body, my mental being, my education, I don't care how much I didn't get school in 6th and 7th grade. As a grown man, I got to make what's use available to me in my community. Man, I'm going to take full responsibility. I ain't going to blame my baby mama. Hell, if I'm not with her, I take care of my child. But she ain't gonna stop me. She ain't gonna be able to get in my way. She can't do nothing about it. I'm gonna take full responsibility and move on. And if there's another woman in my life later on, I'm gonna take full responsibility of being ready and making the right decision for who that's gonna be. See, there's a correlation between being a man and being responsible for everything from your head to your toe, physically, mentally, spiritually. Let's talk about the spiritual stuff. Some of us like kindergarten religion. No, let me go to my pastor. My pastor will tell me exactly what to do. I'm done. We're done with that. Because the pastor is no greater than you. The minister is no greater than you. There's this group think. And one thing about being a king, there's a difference. When you become a king, you examine spiritual truth, spiritual reality, but kings start with being sovereign. We are sovereign. You know what sovereign means, brother? That means we are in charge of ourselves. Oh, the devil made me do it. You know what I'm saying? Then why don't they go lock the devil up? I ain't seen a devil be in charge in no court case. The devil made me do it. The judge don't lock the devil up. The judge locks your ass up. I don't care how much you blame the devil. They telling you take responsibility. You do 25 to life, not the devil you say you believe in. So that type of religion is out. Well, God is going to help me. Yeah, he is. Where do you think God is? Where do you think your connection is? So sovereign means we stop looking to others. I'm not saying not take advice. I'm not saying not listen to others, but at the end of the day, the decision that we make is our decision. Niggas don't make decisions and own up to them. Niggas always blaming the white man, blaming the brother down the street. Damn, if the brothers on the other side of the block, if they didn't step to me, I wouldn't have done what I done. So your power is not in you, your power is outside of you. But a man, power is within. That's what I said about the social justice movement. The problem I got with it, a lot of damn screaming and crying and carrying on, and a lot less empowerment on the inside. We ain't gonna beg them for shit. We're gonna take power or die. That's it. And if we get 5 or 6 brothers on a block that got that mentality, we taking the block. Nothing wrong with that. We might take it economically. We might take it politically. Some of us is in our homes and don't run it. It's out of whack. If your home is out of whack and you in it, it ain't you, it ain't the others, it's you, brother. You allow it to be out of whack. Because if you have self-control and discipline and self-governance, everything submits to you. You're sovereign. Some of us don't like that talk, then turn the shit off then, if you don't like it. Click something else. Click the IG model and the booty model on IG, if that's what tickles your ears or that's what you like to hear. Shit, we talking straight reality and facts here. Nothing else. You feel me? So, King's sovereignty means that we self-govern, not that we tell people what to do. You don't go boss people around in your house. They respect the fact that you're a respectful person. And the way we treat ourselves is how others treat us. Think about it. Diamonds and rubies and gold. You don't just lay out anything that's valuable and let others trample on it. When something's valuable, you wear it a certain way. You carry it a certain way. People respect that if you dressed to impress, they look at you and they might walk out of your way a step. But when you are an individual that recognizes your own sovereignty, your own kinghood, then wherever you walk, people treat you the way you treat yourself. That's why weakness never wins. If you make complaints, oh my God, society got me. And we've been in 400 years of slavery. And they won't let black men do anything. You might think people will join you. Hell no. If you lay your neck, they'll step on your neck. If you lay down and bend down, they'll kick you over. People don't give a damn, and the society cares nothing. Men in general, if we don't produce, we get no respect. People don't care nothing about what happened to you. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't support each other, because we've been through a lot, but it needs to be men supporting each other. So if you went through something, find a brother, another brother who was going through something, but please don't go through society making excuses. Oh, woe is me. My daddy wasn't there. My uncle wasn't. They don't give a damn about that. You're going to have to become a man or suffer consequences of being trampled on. Weakness never wins. It doesn't win in sales. I never seen a weak salesman make sales. It doesn't work in real estate. I never seen a weak real estate person go ahead and become wealthy in real estate. It doesn't win in politics. I've never seen a weak politician stay around for years and get respect. It doesn't work when you are a supervisor or an administrator. It certainly doesn't work when you're weak about things in your own life. And the first stage to becoming strong is admitting everything that's happening in my life is my responsibility. I take full responsibility for all of it. And I'm not looking to any sympathy. I'm not looking to make excuses. On the day that I'm successful, with the help of divine, I'm successful. On the day I failed, damn it, I just blew it. That's it. I'm going to take full responsibility of my life. The good, the bad, the ugly, and indifferent. All right? So I'm going to shut this down because whenever I talk, it's coming from a place, man, that for black men, if you only knew. All right? And this is the kind of thing that I need you to share. If there's one person that admires what I say, share it. It may reach 4 or 6 other brothers that really need it. Now, I talked about being a king, right? Not bossing people around or forcing people. But when somebody's kind of got self-respect, respect comes from self and they carry themselves as such, people really respect that. You know, you ever see a sister really carry herself well? She's walking and she's respectful. And you'll see people walk out of the way. There's something about a power that an individual has. It don't have anything to do all the time with money. That's a part of it. But it's about the inner person. When you speak, do you speak in a way that you respect yourself? And when you speak, you don't allow others to disrespect you. 2 weeks ago, I said, if somebody disrespects you, you don't flip, but they got one chance to be disrespectful before you clear it up. So next time, when I come around, show me respect. There's honor in manhood. There's honor in that. Now, self-discipline and self-governance, that's in a whole lot of areas. It's in money. You know, we killing each other over these things. We kill each other over these things. You know, we kill each other over these. Brothers take life over this. It's a piece of paper. The respect for our lives is not worth this. It's not worth this at all. It ain't worth it. Because this you lose. But the man, your manhood, who you are, that got to stay intact. So people can't sell you out as a man. As a matter of fact, if I lose this today, if I keep myself intact, I'm going to get all of that and then some. But my discipline is I cannot break my principles, my self-respect, my dignity, because that's all I got. Now let's switch back to niggerhood. Niggas don't care nothing about principle. They don't care nothing about dignity. They'll take $1, drive by and cap a brother, no respect. They'll sell their souls for $1. You know, one thing I like about my entrepreneurship, it's in line with my principles. The way I speak today, I can stand on it and build my business, and I'm not in regret. Anything that I say is in line with my principles. Muck Mud was built to respond to young men and women that are Black. But when I look at statistics of reading, writing, and arithmetic, it seems like Black people are on the bottom. So I don't run after the suburban community. I set up right in my community. I communicate with my people in a historical context of what happened to us and where we got to go as a people. And everything that I do is based on what Black people struggled and been through and what's going to build us up. I know education in and of itself is of no help or value unless we have knowledge of self. So knowledge of self is prerequisite before any other subject. You are the subject. Notice the word subject. Something is subjected to you. That means it's under your control. That's math, reading, arithmetic, arithmetic, same thing, math, science. All of that is not going to be known fully unless you know who you are and how you fit in. The problem with our education system is little next to no knowledge of self. So people get in and they get lost because they don't know who they are. Been there, done that. So what makes a man? Knowledge of himself. Not losing that knowledge, not losing himself, having the principles. Niggas sell out easily. Niggas will kill another nigga over $1. Huh? Niggas are ruled by big butt, big breasts, nice words. As a king, things are subject to you. They submit. So the world is ours. We don't get sucked into it. Wherever we go, things happen are in our control because of who we are. Some of us don't live life that way. We get swallowed up, complaining as though everything is bigger than us. Ain't nothing bigger than us but God. So peace and blessings. We're going to carry this on. This is a deep subject. You know why? Because I look at all of the brothers in our community, young brothers, and there's always a complaint. There's no men around. That's not true. There's plenty of us around. We just don't recognize our power. We just haven't taken control of our own sovereignty. And I guarantee you, when you see a man that's physically fit, body built, eating right, able to hold on to $1 and control his own finances, that's governance, self-governance. If you cannot manage your own money, how the hell you think you can manage a community? Think about it. No self-control, no self-governance. So if anything, you king over yourself. And naturally, when you have governance over yourself, everybody else submits or subjects themselves to somebody who got that kind of self-discipline and self-control. If somebody can get you out of your game, you ain't got sovereignty. If somebody can insult you, and you let that blow your whole mind and get you emotional, and you make an emotional decision instead of looking at it, weigh it, and looking at this fool that's coming against you and saying, man, it's not worth it. Because kings operate from a level of kinghood. And I'm not going to come down and deal with this peasant who just want me to react emotionally and spend 25 to life. I got a whole damn community, household, and nation to run. I can't get bothered with that foolishness. So that's where we at. I love chopping it up with brothers, man, and talking about where we're going. Steel sharpens steel. I like, let's get together in the gym and let's work out our bodies. Let's work out our minds. You know what I mean? Let's get together and talk about how my business is going to not only help me financially, but it's going to affect in a positive way my community. And then when you really get with this thing, you can't see yourself working for the establishment. Why do you think they used to call white people the man? The man. At one time, black women would say, I'm going to call the man on you. What? The man. The indefinite article, the, meaning he the one. But when you understand who you are, ain't the man. There ain't no man outside of you. Not your pastor, not the mayor, not the governor. You are king and lord over yourself. You rule and govern over yourself, and self-governance gives you the type of self-respect and the power that you can overcome your environment. Remember they used to say crack is calling me? Man, crack is calling me. That coke is calling me. Now, when you're a king, don't nothing call you. And if it calls you, you got the right to say no. When she call you, she ain't got no business calling you because she's not on that level that you're trying to be on, and you don't have to answer her call. We got men that can't make it because every time there's a big ass in your face, you bow. Nah, man, everything is subject to you. You choose who you want. They don't have power, control, and choose you. Not when I'm handling my business, because this other thing is in the way of my business. It's my purpose and my mission first. And in order to complete my mission and purpose, I gotta be disciplined. Bottom line. And I won't tolerate disrespect. I love my brother, but I won't even let him disrespect me. You understand what I'm saying? So with that, our subject 2, part 2, from Boyz to Niggaz to Kingz. And then next time we'll deal with divine and what that is. You know what I mean? I remember, I leave on this note. Larry Bird one time was talking about Michael Jordan. And Larry Bird was nice. White guy, nice, played for the Boston Celtics back in the day. But he came close to retirement. He said, man, when I saw Michael Jordan, I saw God in a basketball uniform. Now, I'm just not talking about basketball, but what is it that you want to master in life, brothers? What is it that you want to put your mind to, your spirit to? What is your mission? What is your aim? One of the hardest things to find is your purpose. But once you find your purpose and who you are, ain't no problem getting up. No problem finding direction. No problem getting in that gym and getting yourself together and being a man of mission and purpose. And I'm going to tell you this, without mission, without purpose, without aim, you ain't no man. You're a boy. You might get it to become a nigga, but you're not going to be a king unless you got a purpose, mission, and aim in life. Peace. I don't give a damn if one person hears this. I'm saying something. Thank you.